Hello there, members. I hope you are doing so well. I am doing your full moon in Sagittarius pick a card reading, and Spirit, normally you see 3 stacks, and Spirit led me to 4 for all of the signs. So we've got earth signs, air signs, fire signs, and water signs. And of course, you can cross-check, based on your sun, moon, and rising, right? And get messages from the piles according to that. But going into the reading, I want to focus on, full moon in Sagittarius. So the full moon, of course, is while the sun is in Gemini, a lot of what we're thinking about, mental activity, communications, things like that. In Sagittarius, we know it is ruled by Jupiter. So we've got this expanding kind of energy, this in a full moon where you're releasing. So some of you may have a lot of energy, ideas, things that are just ready to be released, emotions ready to be released, old ways of doing things that are ready to be released, because Sagittarius is also a very philosophical energy, right? It is about growth and philosophy and other cultures, and very often religion or spirituality, exchange of ideas. It's about a bigger world in than what you have, and it is also very much about being optimistic about your own potential for future growth. So that was where my spirit was as I pulled these cards for you. And as you know, I haven't seen anything here except for these catalysts that came at the bottom of the 2 tarot decks that I used, and Spirit told me not to ignore them. So I do want to go into the reading introducing you to these catalysts. I got Temperance, believe it or not, ruled by what? Sagittarius and Jupiter, right? But I also pulled next to it from this deck, the Devil. And as I said, these were the cards at the bottom of the deck. And the reason I feel like these are catalysts, you all, is because, again, this ties into Temperance, ties directly into the Sagittarian energy. The Devil says that there may be, we know the Devil represents our attachments, our habits that may not be serving us, our thought patterns, our relationships that we may need to reassess, right? So there's something there for you in this energy, and I can't wait to get to the cards, because this is definitely a call to move on and expand from something, someone, habits, ways of life that you may feel really attached to. Sometimes you are, sometimes it's subconscious habits, right? But thinking about, definitely a call from Spirit and your soul, your guides, to get ready to expand beyond something that you may feel like is holding you back, all right? From the second deck, the 2 catalyst cards that I got, and these really are cool, thinking about the other 2 that we got, because you got the Strength and the Ace of Wands. So I think this is a call from your higher self and your spirit guide saying, hey, you've got it. Whatever it's going to take for you to move past old habits, old ways of thinking, old fears, whatever binds you. That's what the Devil is about. And remembering too, Temperance is healing. Temperance is about alchemy. Temperance is about change. So you have the strength to start fresh. And I love that you came in fire. Sagittarius is fire, right? So you got that Ace of Wands, fresh start. And you've got the strength to be able to do it, all right? All right, so I'm going to take these, take these catalyst cards and put them to the side. Spirit just said, when I saw them at the bottom of the decks, Spirit said, don't ignore, talk to you about them. All right, so our 4 stacks, earth signs, we have Garnet, and again, this is sun, moon, or rising. All right, we've got Garnet. Air, we've got crystal quartz. We've got for fire, this is some sort of Jasper, you all, but look at all that. It's not a tiger's eye. It's actually some sort of Jasper, but look at all that fire in there. That's why I was drawn to it. All right, fire signs. And we've got a beautiful piece of Apatite for water. All right. Okay, so let's move these over, and we're going to go in. Nope, they told me start this way. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Got it. So let's go that direction. I try to follow what they tell me, y'all. All right, let's get ready to see what happens. So we're going in on water signs first. Okay, and that is, of course, in case that's our what Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and who are we missing? Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. I guess that's it. Is that it? Yeah, that's it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, it's 3 of each. I don't know why I was trying to come up with a 4th. Okay, so there we have it, water signs. You have, starting out with your tarot, you have the 2 of Swords, decisions that need to be made, and some clarity around the decisions. And lo and behold, look at your second that came with that, the Tower. Remember those cards, the catalyst cards that we just went into, and breaking away from old habits. So there's definitely some decisions, water signs, that you are making in order to grow. Your soul is ready to grow and move beyond something that has just served its time. It served its purpose. We've got the 2 of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. This could be something that changes the way that you are operating financially. It could also have to do with health, your body, your exercise, your eating habits, diet, right? Anything that is related to your physical existence, because we're dealing with coins. We're dealing with material. So, and pages are new. So there's a decision that you're going to make. And notice that you got 2 2s. You got a 2 of Swords and a 2 of Coins. 2s very often do reflect decisions and choices that are being made. And Spirit is saying it will help you make those choices. Don't fear the Tower. The changes that are occurring or have occurred for you recently, they are deliberate, and they are encouraging you to move into a new direction in your physical existence, your health, your finances, your relationships, your homes, right? Things that encompass your physical existence. You've got, now we're going into your oracles. You've got silence proved you were never in control. Talk about those habits that the devil was pointing to. So, or attachments. So some of you may be finding your voice. Notice symbolically, in a 2 of Swords, very often it comes with either a blindfold, or in this case, the mouth is taped up. So if you have been holding back, remembering as well that this full moon in Sagittarius is happening while the sun is in Gemini, Mercury, communication. If you have been holding back and feeling like you have been silenced, you're finding your control, because that silence said you were not in control. You have the way shower. You, yes, you are the keeper and teller of your truth. Here we go again with some form of communication for you all. You are also the teller of your truth. So the silence is no more. That's part of what this full moon and the release. There is something you may want to say, express, show up as a different version of yourself, even. Going back to those coins, this could be something as simple as, dietary changes, losing a few pounds, or getting on that exercise regimen, or doing something that brings you more enjoyment and more stability. You have a welcome change. Revel in your renewal. Look at that. That speaks to also the alchemy card that came in the catalyst, right? Welcome change. Sagittarius, definitely with Jupiter, it is expansion, it is moving beyond, it is being bigger, and it is very often synchronicities and sort of an appearance of luck that Spirit brings you. You've got soul service. The soul lights up through service. Listen to your heart and hold space for those who need compassion. This could also be where you're finding your voice, water signs, okay? Because you've definitely had a trend here around expression, around not being silent. And soul service says that there is something that you have to offer to others, that you want to share with others, that maybe you're already in an area of work that involves service to others. And service can encompass any and everything. It can go from actually being, you know, in wellness, in politics, in business, in spirituality. There are so many areas and avenues of service, and that's what is asking for more expression for you. That's what this full moon in Sagittarius is lending you the energy to do more of that and to give yourself permission. Don't hold back. You've got double trauma here, and it says, you're both hurting, but hurt people don't always heal each other. Sometimes they just pass the wound back and forth. Now, this puts me back in that double catalyst card as well. Of course, this won't apply to everybody, but for some of you, this could be families, this could be friendships, it could be co-workers, it could be spouses or partners or lovers, but there is a relationship dynamic here that is showing, you know, how did they say it? If you're both hurting, but hurt people don't always heal each other. So, and we know the old saying, hurt people often hurt people. And that could also contribute to why some of you wound up silencing yourself, because it wasn't worth, and it hasn't been worth the fight back or the pushback or the argument or the tension. Some of you, I get the feeling that you are, and again, we're dealing in water signs, those emotions, right? So you may want to keep things calmer and cooler. And in doing that, though, you have silenced yourself. But then whatever it is, the dynamic doesn't get healed, okay? Let me put these down a little bit. I'm looking at the screen, make sure you can see them well. All right. Next, we have, if they say the lunch break, pause, nourishment, reset, boundaries, and perspective. So this full moon is saying it's a beautiful time for you to reassess, take a pause, take a break. Think about what has been silenced, how you really want to be of service. And this could even be of service to your partner. This could be of service to an authority figure in your life, like a boss or a supervisor or a manager. This could be you as a manager dealing with, you know, those that you manage, the relationship dynamics there. So that lunch break feels like this full moon in Sagittarius is saying, hey, it's okay. Take a minute. Think about your boundaries. You know, think about other people's boundaries as well, and give yourself that reset, because the full moon in Sagittarius is going to give you a new perspective, all right? You've got wonder that comes. That's perfect on the heels of that pausing. Awe, transcendence, and reverence. So by taking a break right now, and I feel like that's literal, you know, the lunch break, like that's literal. Maybe taking a certain amount of time each day to just be with your own thoughts, to just express your own truth, to journal and write down, you know, get your thoughts on paper. That could be very helpful for some of you right now, because again, this is going to an emotional component. So it's something that it's really important for you right now to express what you feel. Your feelings are really, really important right now. And here it says it's safe to want more. You don't have to be silent, and you don't have to wonder, you know, are you going to rock the boat just by virtue of saying, I want change, welcome change. Just by virtue of saying, I want to break free from whatever has been silencing me, or whatever makes me as a person, as a trait, tend to hold back and not express my emotions, because they need to be expressed, because they ultimately lead to healing, yours and others. You have temple secrets that come. It says secrecy, isolation, observation, and ritual magic. Now, I think that's what spirit is calling you to. That's what your soul is calling you to. Is you're speaking, but you're going to speak to spirit first. You're going to speak to your higher self first. There's something about the need to organize your thoughts, to get your emotions into perspective. That's what that perspective keyword on there is about, right? So there's something where you are treating your body, your space, your home, your life as something sacred. Temple secrets. This is your sacred time, your sacred space. And I think for some of you, that may seem a little at odds, because if your life is filled with service to others, or you are desiring those connections, it is equally important for you to set aside, that's what those boundaries are about, for you to set aside time just to be in your own space, to speak and unveil that silence, to speak safely. It's safe to want more, to be safe in your own ideas and opinions and desires. You have the Tibetan fire serpent that comes for you. I love that that's coming in the Sagittarius energy. Seeking a higher truth, discernment, a better path, and authority. Trusting your judgment and trusting that you do have authority. You are supposed to have authority. And discovering what that is without worrying about rocking the boat. This is a lot of finding your voice and being able to express your voice and express your passion for yourselves. Express your passion for wanting more, deserving more, desiring more, and not trauma bonding. That just came to mind as well from Spirit when I look at that double trauma. Not getting caught up in trauma bonding, which can also point to the devil and habits that we have, toxic relationships where sometimes, for all the right reasons, we get together with one another and we just vent, all the stuff that's going on and all the problems in the world and da-da-da. That's trauma bonding. And it doesn't lead you to a broader self, this fire serpent energy that wants to come for you to grow out of it and be more. That's also why you have the Tower. It really is breaking away from and welcoming change instead of feeling restricted by it or afraid of it. Okay? You have serendipity, a fated encounter. So something's coming. And when it does, maybe it's a place that you're in, someone you meet, something you try, but there's something new that this Sagittarius energy is going to bring you, water signs. And it is serendipitous. Look at that beautiful dragonfly. It's something that's meant for you. It is notice too, you got that welcome change a moment ago. And dragonflies very often reflect that change. And this is fated change, just as the Tower can be fated change, F-A-T-E-D, fated change. Sometimes the Tower can be something that is simply, it is destined, it must happen. So there's an encounter, there's someone or something that you are going to encounter that opens you up emotionally, that allows you and says, it's okay, wondrously, it's okay to be more. It's okay to shine. It's okay to have a voice and an opinion and to express my authority, to really embrace that, not making yourself small, all right? You have, I follow the most aligned path toward abundance when I do what excites me. And hold that up. So what excites you, water signs? What excites you? And if you're like, some of you, I feel like some of you are going to be like, I don't even know. Well, there you have it. That's that take a lunch break. That's why you're going to pause and reflect, right? So because you are this one going here, the way shower. You are the keeper and teller of your truth. So there is this aligned path to your joy. Abundance when I do what excites me. This is a part of, and so maybe some of this serendipity is something that's you're gonna discover something, come across something, a workshop, an event, an opportunity, a friend, a place, something, a new hobby, a book, even information, something that lights your fire. Proverbial fire, right? Sagittarius. You have, my anxiety is not based on reality. All right, let's tell the truth. Some of you, I feel like this is pointing to some of you all in that state of the what ifs. You know, what could happen? What if I do that, then what, right? And so Spirit is just cautioning you here and saying that's part of that tower. That's got to be released. Because it's not based in reality. It's based in fear. And going back to our catalyst cards and that devil, that's exactly what the devil does. The devil energy keeps you bound in fear. But the binding, the chains, as it were, emotional, psychic, otherwise, financial, debt, all those things, and they can be removed. It's not something that you can't do anything about. So my anxiety is not based on reality. And it is your reality that's shifting. You have a bison that comes for ritual. Now that's the second time. Where was the other ritual card that came for you all? That temple, the temple secrets. Definitely. And I love even sort of the colors that are, and we got different decks. I love even the aura that's in those, how that's relating. So water signs, time to do some ritual. And ritual could just be doing prayer, saying prayer, using your voice, saying prayer in your bath or shower, and really recognizing your own sacredness. That's what I'm seeing here. Really recognizing it's safe to want more. Recognizing your worthiness, recognizing your own sanctity and your own sacredness. Resetting and having a different perspective on yourself, okay? And the last card is gastrolith. I have no idea what that is. Surprise, rumination, and acceptance. Now, this is from a crystal oracle deck. I gotta go find the card on that because I can't just leave you there. Where is it? There we go. Hold on with me. Gastrolith. What in the world? Okay, let's see here. Gastrolith. All right, here we go. The discovery of a gastrolith starts with a mystery, a polished stone that doesn't match its geological surroundings. This anomaly is a gizzard stone, a rock that dinosaurs swallowed to grind up vegetation in their stomach, since they lack the proper teeth. When a truth is hard to swallow, turn it over in your mind until acceptance tumbles it smooth. Wow. Okay. So we've had some things coming up around truth, finding your voice, not letting yourself be silenced. And so this is about chewing on it, right? Chewing on it until you can digest it. And that's also why I think you've got that lunch break. Because this full moon in Sagittarius is saying you can sit and digest some things. Chew on it. Chew on your plans. Chew on what it is that you really want to express. Chew on allowing and knowing that you are worthy of more and allowing opportunities to come your way. All right? All right, pile number 1, my water signs. Again, sun, moon, and rising. That was really, really good. And I love the way your cards came together to tell that story. So sit with it, chew on it. Think about your voice, think about your truth and your right to express your truth. And the power that you have, that fated encounter for something more, the expectation for something more. All right, moving on. We're going to do pile number 2, my fire signs. Let's see what came. You have the 2 of Pentacles, partnerships and choices that you may be thinking about. Look at those labyrinths there. So, how you move forward, plans to move forward. King of Cups, compassion. maybe planning a partnership or planning what your plans are, maybe plans that impact and affect others. And so you are in a level of maturity to be able to make decisions that take others into account. You have the Seven of Swords. So there's something about trusting you. So you got two sevens back to back. The Seven of Swords and the Seven of Cups. I love this because the choice that's reflected in that Two of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords and the Seven of Cups are both pointing to choices and some concerns around trusting yourself or trusting someone else to help you make that choice. All right? Because in the Seven of Cups, there is no shortage of choices. But in the Seven of Swords, there's a tendency to not fully believe in or feel like you might be deceived in making those choices. So there's a path ahead, but you've got the emotional capacity. Or if this reflects someone in your life who is that partner, Two of Pentacles can be a partnership. If there's a water sign, and gender doesn't matter, it's more of an energy. A King of Cups is more about authoritative, emotional intelligence, right? So there's a question around you trusting what the choices may be to move ahead. Let's go forward in your oracles. Uncertainty shattered the identity you cling to. What have you been uncertain about? And or how have you grown beyond uncertainty to trust yourself or to trust those around you and those you partner with? Going back to that Seven of Swords, I'm going to put that right there. Uncertainty shattered the identity you clung to. For some of you, there could have been or be some shifts in the dynamics of your relationships where things have come to light and you're having to make choices about how do I move forward with this person now? In whatever area, work, love, family, how do I move forward with this person or in this situation? Because something shifted. And the uncertainty may have come through a discovery. Again, Seven of Swords can be dishonesty, deceit, trickery, just something quite underhanded. And so it made you feel uncertain perhaps in that. And lo and behold, look at what we have in the next card. We are for sure talking about your what? Relationships, pile number 2. Fire signs. We are for sure talking about your relationships. So perhaps for some of you, again, these are general readings. It may not apply to everybody, but for some of you, something has happened that perhaps has made you question what your choices need to be relative to a relationship. Okay, here we go. One thing at a time. Focus on a single purpose. Boom. Talk to a spirit. All right. You see that? Focus on a single purpose. So Spirit is saying, as you are reflecting on, and again, full moon in Sagittarius is growth, expansion, moving on, exploring. It's bigger, letting yourself and the lessons you're learning and the growth that you are going through, Jupiter's growth and karma. One thing at a time. Don't let yourself get overwhelmed because this can be overwhelming. Seven of Cups can be, I could do this, I could handle it that way, I could just, it's like all these other things, and then it keeps you kind of in a space of not quite knowing what to do because you've got so many options. So Spirit is saying one thing at a time. Narrow it down and, focus on a single purpose. So if this relationship, if this job, if this marriage, if this partner, if this family member, if this friend, whatever the nature of this relationship is for you, they're saying one thing at a time. What is your ultimate objective in the relationship? Is it to trust again? Is it to part ways peacefully? Is it to plan for healing? Whatever it is, one thing at a time. Don't let yourself get overwhelmed. You've got grounded starseed. You have been seated here for a reason. Know that it is safe to remain grounded in your body and into the earth plane. So this is a great message from your soul, fire signs, to stay grounded and know that what is happening and what has happened, and this full moon in Sagittarius urging you to grow past whatever has happened in relationships. This is because you came here capable of doing it. This is a grounded starseed. I love that because it's giving this earthly quality. You know, we often say we are spirits having a human experience. So this is exactly what that's pointing to. You are spiritual, and spirit is reminding you you are a spirit having a human experience. A grounded starseed says, I'm capable of handling whatever this is. I don't have to be uncertain. I don't have to cling to my old identity. And I do feel in particular, this is for those of you who may have undergone a divorce or a breakup or something where your stability and your image and your identity was tied to another person. This could even be someone who's lost a loved one, you know, a widower, or just partners that may have, you know, transitioned, whatever's happened in the context of relationship. You are a grounded starseed, and spirit is saying one thing at a time. Some of you could even be trying to decide, do you want to go into another partnership, having lost someone or knowing the uncertainty of things? That might be what's on your plate right now. And Sagittarius is the eternal optimist, right? Remembering that spirit wants you to be optimistic. All right, let's see what else you got here. A smoke signal. Something subtle is trying to get your attention. Don't wait for the full fire to believe it's real. Uh-oh. Something's trying to get your attention, fire signs. Now, to the extent of relationships, if this is a flirtation, if this is an invitation that someone wants to give you, if this is a shift in your focus in career, or work that you want to do, or dream that you want to pursue, or vacation that you want to take, or place that you want to discover, pay attention to the signs, because there's a smoke signal. Spirit's trying to show you something. You have a vital connection, communication, clarity, engagement, networking, and direct action. Time to connect. Time to connect. I'm holding that up there in case you want to screenshot it. It's time to connect, fire signs. And I love that that's coming in that warm, kind of fiery energy. The vital connection. Love it. Love it. Communication, clarity, engagement. It's time to get out there and make some connections, you all. And perhaps you are a little reluctant to do so based on that Seven of Swords, whatever happened over here with this identity shift. But this, again, Sagittarius is all about expansion. It's all about growth. It's all about opportunity and luck with the planet Jupiter. Surrender. Trust your higher self. Come on with it, spirit. Trust. Surrender. Surrender to something new. Surrender to a chance encounter. Surrender to what the possibilities might be and what might show up for you. Come this way a little bit. There we go. All right. Sorry for that movement. I just realized you were coming off the table. Yeah. Surrender. Choose yourself. Yes. Choose yourself to give yourself, look, walking towards that portal. To give yourself an opportunity to experience more. To enjoy more. To know that you came here to do that. And this is in your relationship sector, 100%. Whatever that means for you. You have the universal Merkaba, a sacred purpose. You have the answer, lucid dreaming. You have the answer. Something's coming to you through your dreams, thoughts that continue to occur to you. These smoke signals, this is no accident that you've gotten. Look, you had those smoke signals a moment ago, and now you've got some lucid dreaming. And the universe, what does it say again? The universal Merkaba, a sacred purpose. You have the answer. Look at that. You have the answer. Spirit's going to show it to you. Where should I go? Who should I meet? How should I take a chance and begin to refocus on my relationships one step at a time. You have a detour, change course. I love it. Because that's, Jupiter and Sagittarius is all about expansion. So the way that you've always typically gone about something, gone about your relationships, your career choices, your activities, your friendships, your travel circles or not, that's what this full moon in Sagittarius is bringing to you. Is like, okay, let's change course. Choose yourself. Don't do things. If some of you are currently in relationships or partnerships, and typically you do things according to the other person, there may be a calling that you're feeling more about, change course, doing something that really feels important and unique to you, and making that decision. Choose yourself. You have, I am the creator of my wealth and the receiver of it. Now, wealth meaning all manner of abundance, health, money, love, support, energy, joy, a zest for life. All of those things make us wealthy. And you are the creator of it. I'm the creator of it and the receiver of it. So this is as you create, you receive. For some of you, this isn't just about giving in the nature of relationship. This is also about reciprocity, that as you give, you get back. And that is one way that wealth shows up for you in life, okay? You have gratitude is the life force of everything. This is life force energy. Ties into being a creator and receiver. And so as you focus more, and I know we hear about that all the time, it becomes cliche, but it works. One reason why things often become a cliche is and we hear about them so much is because there's something to it. So there is an aspect of gratitude that is not just an expression, but it feeds you. This comes back to the reciprocity that we saw here. You're the creator of wealth and also the receiver of it. Spirit says, as you give, so you receive. So the gratitude you give out, so you receive life force coming back at you. You get excited. You get certain. You get joy coming back. One thing at a time. You have, as an animal helper right now, a hyena to deal with fear. Let's cancel the fear. Remember, we had that devil that came as one of our catalyst cards for everybody, for all the signs in the beginning, right? And that's breaking that habit, breaking away from fear. Seeing look at the contrast there. Everything lively and lush and beautiful compared to everything kind of dried out and right? And that's where our minds can often go, is between those two extremes. And so Spirit is saying, let's get rid of that. You have, as a stone that you would need or be helpful for you right now, obsidian. Incisiveness, transcendence, and reflection. So you may want to look at some obsidian. It will help ground you. It will help make you feel safe, deal with any fear, right? And give you some oomph to be ready to go into the future. In relationship, however that spells out for you. All right. Fire, pile number 2, my fire signs. I hope that was helpful, and I hope it gave you some nuggets to walk away with and think about how to best utilize this energy, this full moon in Sagittarius. Okay, going on to the next one, our air signs. Let's see, full moon in Sagittarius for our air signs. We have the Knight of Cups. Soulmate and a karmic meeting, it says on this deck. All right, love, love, love. I love the love. But then, of course, it's followed up with the Three of Swords. So, is there something that may be preventing you, air signs, thinking, Gemini, thinking or overthinking, maybe what you desire or how you have moved towards something emotionally satisfying, but being concerned about that, having doubts about it. Let's see what else comes. You've got the Two of Swords, a choice and decision that you may need to make relative to love and soulmate and being ready to move, because nights are movement, and it's like, go get what you want, do what you want, feel good in doing it. And you have the High Priestess. I love that, actually, because the High Priestess is a moon kind of energy, right? Intuitive kind of energy. So I think what Spirit is saying here, when I look at your 4 tarot together, air signs, is there's a breakthrough for you. And your breakthrough may not yet be seen, because High Priestess can sometimes indicate where you're not quite, it hasn't been revealed yet. You're still making decisions and choices because you don't want to get hurt. You don't want to take risks, but you do deserve and desire more intimacy, more connection, more joy. And this isn't just romantic. This could be in business even, but it's what makes you feel truly connected to others. That's what's coming. And that's what Spirit wants to reveal to you through that High Priestess. You stayed loyal to what was already leaving. Uh-oh. I don't even think that needs a whole lot of explanation, air signs. You stayed loyal to what was already leaving. Now that's not just romantic. You know, you can stay loyal in a job, and the job was being phased out, or a company was being phased out. You could stay loyal in a friendship that, you know, has gone through changes. You get it. There are many applications, but there is something that you stayed loyal to that must have contributed to this 3 of Swords, that sadness and that doubt. That's why the High Priestess wants to bring you a different aspect, a different energy around it, so you can make a decision to move forward. And lo and behold, if you don't have connections, here we go. Find the spark of divinity in ourselves, finding the spark of divinity in ourselves and others. And that's got the number 21, if that matters to some of you, if that's significant to some of you. But this is about connection and the desire that many of you who, you know, air signs again, sun, moon, or rising, but the desire for connection. And it may be even to replace, that desire may be driven in part to replace or augment what your experience has been in relationships, in connections in general. Don't isolate yourselves. Because Sagittarius is an energy that loves to explore. It loves to go beyond boundaries. It loves to go beyond the usual. It loves multiculturalism, exploring other cultures, other places, other things, broadening the soul's experience. And that's what connections do for you. You have shifting the blame, accept others for who they are. So did some of this, you showed the loyalty to what was already leaving. It caused some sadness. And maybe, you know, there's been some time that you've spent like, this so-and-so and such, right? You know, and justified, I get it. But shifting the blame, I think, says that you are growing out of it. And in order for you to move forward and really take advantage of this full moon in Sagittarius energy, it is saying you got to shift the blame away from just being angry with or looking at that person, you know, and accepting the fact that, hey, they did what they did. They moved how they moved. It wasn't right, but don't dwell on that, because ultimately, how do you change that? You can't go back and change the past. It's done. You were loyal, right? I'm going to put that over here. And that's also what I think the High Priestess is doing, is saying, let me show you what the real lesson was in that. Let me show you what the real value was in that. You've got inner balance that comes. Create balance between the mind, body, and spirit. Balance is key in all avenues. So you're relearning, or you will relearn, your soul's growth in this full moon in Sagittarius energy, air signs, is giving you an opportunity to restore your balance. Balance being, of course, key in relationships, any form of relationship. But there's something here where, again, maybe because of that loyalty, you gave too much that it almost feels like you lost a part of yourself. And if you worked too hard in a job and you were never adequately rewarded, etc. There's so many areas of life where we give ourselves in relation to the thing, the person, right? The family. Now is the time for you to get that balance back and pull some back for yourself. And that's what the High Priestess wants to show you how to do. You have guiltless. Forgive the version of you that didn't know better. You weren't broken. You were becoming. Ooh, okay. So let's think about that, especially in connection with that, right? No recrimination. Shifting the blame, right? So maybe even the blame you've been blaming yourself. And giving yourself a hard time for being loyal, for allowing the situation to go on as it did. And Spirit is saying, don't do that. Look at that beautiful transformational butterfly or moth in the center there. You're changing. You're getting, forgive the version of yourself. You didn't know better. You did what you did. We've all done it, right? So now it's about who you are becoming. And I'm drawn back to that Knight of Cups. Stop and smell the roses. Presence, appreciation, pause, sensory focus, and gratitude. Stop and smell the roses right now as you go through this full moon in Sagittarius. And for some of you, it could be literally go get yourself some roses. Or if you go to a park or something and there are flowers, take a moment and smell, right? Or if you use essential oils and things and you've got something that smells sweet and good and life-affirming, use that. Lotions, right? Stop and smell because you need your presence. You need your appreciation. You need to take a pause. You need your senses delighted. And this lightens the mental energy, right? Air signs. This lightens the mental. When you get your senses involved, then it feeds your mental, it feeds your brain, it feeds your thought patterns to calm down, reset your nervous system, allow yourself to let that guilt go and accept pleasure. You've got shadow work that comes. That does not surprise me at all. And notice it says forgiveness and unconditional love. Yep. Right after that, guiltless, forgiving the version of that didn't know better. Boom, shadow work. Another moth. See that? Symbolically, very, very clear message from Spirit for you. So, ultimately, this is really all good because remember, Sagittarius is a delightfully optimistic, overall, a delightfully optimistic sign and energy. And this really is about you moving past, expanding past something that hurt. And perhaps, you felt a level of betrayal. You may have felt a level of self-betrayal because of that. Forgive yourself, right? And the shadow work and the forgiveness there. So that's what this is offering you. This full moon in Sagittarius air signs is saying, hey, what's done is done. And there's no shifting the blame to you, from you, on them, above them. That doesn't get you where you want. Where you want to go is back into connection with smelling the roses and feeling good about yourself, about connections that you can still make and should still make, about what's next for you. It says show up scared. Now, I like that because basically what Spirit is saying here is take a chance. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to be uncertain. It's okay, but show up anyway. Be courageous and show up anyway. There's an innocence there. See, almost like the figure of a child, right? Scared of the dark, but hey, I'm going anyway. I got my little lamp. I'm going to go and see what's out there. I'm going to investigate anyway. And that is definitely Sagittarian energy. Very investigative, very open to, okay, what's next? What can I discover? You've got the angelic realms that come for you. A team effort, charity, validation, and patience. Let your spirit guides Maybe that's who you're showing up with, right? To get your spirit guides and think what is possible, what is next, who's next, how can I make my connections? Like relying on your spirit guides, your team, your ancestors, your angelic helpers to show you what's next. You have success that comes, and it says gradual success with thoughtful actions. Up the ladder you go. So there is success coming. And again, Sagittarius with its beautiful optimistic energy, there is success for you, air signs. But it's gradual, step by step by step by step, right? It's gradual. That's why it's, gradual success with thoughtful actions. So there's just a redoing of letting go of the guilt that you may feel, the resentment you may feel, the anger or frustration or lethargy is a word that Spirit just gave me. Some of you just may be past it and just don't even have the momentum to get out there and establish new relationships, try new things. But that's that inner balance that it was speaking to, right? Is just take your time and recalibrate yourself. Stop and smell those doggone roses. Those roses are going to smell good enough to make you want to go out there and get back in the mix. The universe rewards my enjoyment of life with more riches to enjoy. Boom. You got it? Universe wants you to get out there and try some things. Do some things, surrender to the experiences that are out there waiting for you. Be scared, but show up anyway. Do it, because therefore you get your rewards. You get delighted. I love that. There's a lot of delight and good people, good times, good things that await you. You have, I play with the world. Now, come on. Look at that. Look at how your message is unfolding. You play with the world. It's time to get out, make some connections, and play. Literally, playtime. I'm thinking again of how this image, comes with that child. Show up scared. Spirit wants you to be renewed and not burnt out. Spirit wants you to maintain that part of your innocence that trusted, that was loyal, and will continue to be. But now you're being loyal to yourself. That's that balance that you're getting, and through the shadow work. All right, you're gonna play. Go out and play in the world. Go out and do something you haven't done before. You've got the jackal, and that's the truth, because you're recognizing the truth of something. And also because the high priestess will get you there. The high priestess, comes out from that veil and the mysteries and says, okay, let me really look at this thing. Why did I stay in it? Why was I taken off guard? Why did I trust that person? Why didn't I trust myself more? Right? Why didn't I listen to my intuition? Right? But that's how you get there. It's the truth. And it's recognizing that truth that then sets you free, lets you stop and smell the roses, and puts you on the path to go back out there and play, because you need connections. You need connections. We all do. And finally, your stone that came is gypsum. Softness, growth, and shape-shifting. Gypsum will be helpful to you. If you're not familiar with it, please look that up and see what Spirit gives you, what pings you around that. But gypsum came for you. All right. All right, air signs. You see your mission should you choose to accept it. All right, time to make some connections. But it is going to require, some work on your part to release some of what occurred. All right, and finally, last but not least, we have our earth signs, and we've got that beautiful garnet there. Let's see what came. Let me take a sip of my juice. All right. Ooh. Okay then. Ooh, and I got ginger in my juice, and that got a little bite to it. Look at that. You start out with the Empress. Talk about earth energy, right? Garnet. So we've got the Empress and the Nine of Wands. Sagittarius going in fire, right? So right away, for earth signs, sun, moon, and rising, there's something that is growing, literally growing, and it is requiring some persistence on your part, some resilience. Notice the key word even there, resilient. It is calling on you for that, but it's there. And you've got the 9 of Pentacles, 2 nines. You had the 9 of Wands, and now you're getting the 9 of Pentacles in this tarot deck. So this is wealth and abundance and productivity and the results of your efforts with the Knight of Cups that you're going to love. And Knights are movement as well, talking about this growth and expansion that comes in the Empress energy. So earth signs like, hey, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. 2 nines. Nines are almost there. A little more energy and persistence, and it brings in the result that you need, whether that's actual money, whether that's actual opportunities, business opportunities, growth in some aspect. But we know the Empress is always about growth and abundance and expansion and creating things, right? Giving birth to something. And this could very well be a business. This could be a budget. This could be a savings plan. This could be investments. This could be a house, decorating, anything relating to your physical existence. This could even be a health situation that you're growing and taking care of, nurturing. Empress is very much around nurturing as well. That's how she creates. She nurtures and brings to life. You have numbing, faded, reality stepped in. So if you were in a state of not really taking care of business, that went away. That literally went away. And your reality said, no, you got to push on. You got to push on. You couldn't stop. You couldn't put off to later. This feels like some procrastination, something that perhaps even a little limiting beliefs or disbelief that what you wanted to create or have been creating, that you had it, you had with the resources and whatever was necessary to bring it to completion. Yeah, that got out of the way. And doggone if you didn't get resilience again. Here we go. Look at that. You got that 9 of Wands with that resilience message, and here it is again. You see that? So earth sign, and let me read the message for you here. It says, even during the darkest storm, there is illumination within. Be your own guiding light. Never give up. Keep pushing. Keep pushing, earth signs. Because it's right there. Nine of Pentacles is right there. Knight of Cups says you're going to love it. Keep moving. You're going to love it. You can't stop. The numbing faded and reality stepped in and said, I got to move. I got to do this. This is my calling. This is my purpose. You have a sacrament of the present. And it says, experience every moment as it is. There's something calling you to recognize how much you've grown. Even though you may not be where you want to go, the result, that's why you're getting that resilience message. But earth signs, even though the fullness of what you want, going back to the nines are saying almost there, push a little harder, keep going, don't give up. 9 of coins, almost seeing the results or seeing some results. Hang in there, you'll see more. And here, the sacrament of the present, really giving yourself and acknowledging just how much you've done. You have fallen in love with love. It's worth it every time. All right, I'll leave that there. Fall in love with love. It's worth it every time. If this is around, and very often we do go to the Empress as an archetype for love relationships or things that we love. I think there's something here, and I love that they've got that pomegranate in there, which is very often associated with the High Priestess and all of her sacredness and fertility. Roll the dice. I think I see this 2 ways. This could very well be moving to produce or staying resilient about producing the kind of relationship that some of you may be wanting. You could have told yourself for a while you didn't really need it. I'm good. I'll just stay where I am. And reality's setting in like, no, I really do want more. And that's where it's saying be resilient and be in the present and open yourself to love. Now, outside of relationships, it's also about doing what you love, living a life that you love, being in love with your life, right? That's an aspect of this as well. You have still courted. You cut them off, but not out. Your body remembers. Oh, okay, wait a minute now. You cut them off, but not out. Your body remembers. Your field remembers. And that's where they're still living. Okay, let's go back to that love thing we were just talking about. Now, I'm going to hold that up because some of you might want to screenshot that. You'll know what that is. And again, these are general readings, may not apply to everybody, but it's here for a reason. And it's definitely here for a reason right on the heels of that falling in love with love. Okay? So somebody's still in you're still courted. Somebody's still in your energy field. There's been some numbing to try and, no, it's not. And Spirit is saying, oh, yes, it is. So you got to be resilient and continue to get into the moment. See things as they are so that you can move ahead. Because the Knight of Cups is trying to get you to move on, to open back up and create love again. Ruled by Venus. We know the Empress is ruled by Venus. You have the self-propelled, momentum, discipline, endurance, self-improvement, and sustained effort. Another confirmation talking about resilience, sustained effort. Get back out there, but close out what needs to get closed out before you do. Don't let any lingering energetic patterns. And this reminds me as well, in the earth signs, remember I opened this reading. If you just jump to this, please go to the introduction because I led this reading. Spirit gave me 4 catalyst cards, of which, of which we had the Devil. And that can speak to cords and it can speak to relationships, especially intimate or romantic relationships. And we had the Temperance card, ruled by Sagittarius. We're in this full moon in Sagittarius. Alchemy, changing, healing. All right? So, yeah, you know what it means. Ceremony, ritual, celebrate, and devotion. You may need a cord cutting ceremony. And if you don't know what that, it's too much for us to go into in this reading, but look it up, look into it. All right? You might need a cord cutting ceremony in order to open yourself back up and be ready to move, this Knight of Cups. Take the leap. Get ready to go into something new. Get ready to open yourself back up to fall in love with love, earth signs. Fall in love with love and get ready to take the leap. You have a divine creation, acceptance, personal commitments, and euphoria. So like if you take the leap and cut those cords, it's about to really feel good for you. You're going to feel very, very re-engaged with possibilities and life and energy and all the goodies that the Empress brings. Being able to create and have what you want. Becoming your own divine creation. Divine creation. You see that? There you have it. This is an opportunity for you to be your own creation or to influence your creation. But you do have to push through a little bit, and Spirit is acknowledging that. But you take that leap. And maybe, let me put this over here with that cord cutting or still corded. You may have to do a cord cutting ceremony of some sort. You may have to do it more than once. That might be some of that resilience. You may have to do it a few times, but that's okay. You'll get there. You'll get there. You're self-propelled. And you're self-propelled towards something that's going to bring you enjoyment. Knight of Cups. All right? You've got a treasure. Protect your energy and space. Okay? Knowing what you've learned and based on, who belongs in your space, who deserves your space, who deserves your body, who deserves your energy, who deserves your time and attention. Because all of those things are your treasure. and you need to protect your energy and your space. You've got relaxation activates the frequency of abundance within me. So it's time to do something that relaxes you. All of this resilience, this push, it's time to also relax. And that actually gets you further ahead. It resets it recalibrates your energy field. It ties really well in with this treasure. You know, protect your energy and your space. You protect it in part by keeping yourself in a relaxed state, stress-free, and inviting people in who keep you stress-free or who can help you de-stress. Reset your nervous system, reset your thoughts, taking more control over your emotional well-being, all of that. And relaxation prompts you to do that. I'm seeing some water because this is earth. I'm seeing some beaches, some sand, some water, some trees, feet in the grass, like whatever relaxes you. That is a part of your treasure. The earth is also a part of your treasure and protects your energy. You have situations don't hurt, expectations do. So that's sort of a mantra or something to be mindful of going forward. It's not the situations, it's the expectations. And there's a recognition of that in the sacrament of the present. You know, and recognizing in this moment and every moment, it's not about what you expect, it's about what you create, right? It's about you being the captain of the ship and not expecting, because I give love, I'm necessarily going to receive love. Or if I treat people a certain way, I'm going to get treated that way in return. We all know how sometimes that can turn out, right? So you're in charge. You have the chameleon for change. I love that for you, because it's just a time to be adaptable. It's a time to say, hey, yesterday was yesterday and this is today. And that is so Sagittarian, right? That Jupiter growth, expansion, try something different, go different places, meet different people, eat different foods, you know, wear different colors, all of it. Be more like the chameleon. Maybe look up the chameleon's symbolic and spiritual qualities. All right. And finally, a crystal that will help you is zircon for reincarnation, timelessness, and respect. If you're not familiar with it, let me hold it up for you so you can look it up. Zircon. That is a crystal that will help you during this time. All right. All right, Earth signs. I hope that was helpful. And I wish the absolute best for you. Please don't hesitate to leave me some comments and let me know how this pinged you or how it applied. And I will talk to you very, very soon. Make the most of this full moon in Sagittarius, second full moon in a month, which is also very rare. So, and just a beautiful, beautiful energy to expand. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.